I'm Krista Gibson, and this is Growing Older and Wiser. Now, last week I talked a little bit about looking towards the past and the future and that sort of thing, and today I want to talk about the past in a little bit of a different way. Now, I believe in past lives, and I suspect that most of you watching this also believe in past lives. Whether you do or not doesn't really matter. And I know that many of us find it fascinating to think about, well, who was I before, and where did I live, and what did I do? Well, I can tell you right now from what I've studied and what I know, we've lived many lifetimes, I mean in the thousands or more. And we've done everything from being a really good, positive, wonderful person all the way up to being a rascal of the worst kind. So we've done the entire spectrum. What I want to talk about is this lifetime. And what I want to talk about is when you're learning something new or when you're making changes in your life that are important to you and you want like some input or some ideas maybe about how to best navigate the changes or navigate what you're learning new. Here's what I would like to propose to you that as an older adult you have access to. We have lived long enough that, for instance, let's say I want to learn something new, which in this case I'm learning to draw and do watercolor. I can go back in my own lifetime. I don't even have to look to a past lifetime. I can go back in this lifetime and say, okay, Krista, where was the time when you learned something new when you were younger? How did you approach it? Was there a time when you did it successfully? Was there a time when you flopped? What was different in those two ways? And by looking at my very own behavior and the choices that I made then, I can use that information to apply it now. Say, well, that worked for me when I was 25. There's no reason that can't work when I'm 75. Yes, the world is different. Yes, I'm different. Doesn't mean I'm not going to tweak it and make it a little different, but I don't have to reinvent the wheel. I've done this. If you look at your relationships, if you have relationship issues going on of one kind or another, or you're looking for a new relationship, sit down, look in your past when you were younger and go, now when did I already navigate this successfully? When did I navigate it not so successfully? And what can I look at in both of those scenarios what can I glean from that to apply to what I'm doing today? We have this wealth of information from our very own lives, from our own decisions of the past, from the way that we've done things before that we can go into and look at and pull forward to now what we want. What if it worked? Can I tweak that just a little bit to kind of fit today's world and my life and where I'm different? Yes, things are different when we're in our 60s, 70s, and 80s than they were when we were our 20s, 30s, and 40s. I'm not saying they aren't. They are. That's why we're growing older. But there are a lot of things that we did when we were younger that can inform the choices and the things that we want to do today. So what I would like to propose to you is to spend a little bit of time looking through this lifetime and look for some of the highlights, times when you did something maybe that was pretty difficult. How did you do that? Kind of look and see, how did you navigate it? And then from that, pull forward and write down somewhere, what are the qualities that you were able to tune into? What sort of behaviors were you able to use at that time to accomplish what you want? Even if you're not doing anything really big right now or anything you can necessarily apply this to right now, you will again in the future. So what would be really nice is to get that information now, maybe when you're not stressed out, maybe when you're not doing something huge, and get that where it's accessible to you, where you can say, okay, now I'm going to learn Spanish. I'm going to learn how to paint. I'm going to learn whatever. How did I do that before? And what can I do now that mirrors that will help me along? Rather than me sitting here and grunting and groaning and trying to reinvent the wheel. Alrighty, there's your information for the week, and talk to me in the comments section. Let me know if you try this. Let me know if you find it helpful, and I will see you here next week. Take care and have a good one.